Did I accidentally do a love spell on her the first week of our relationship? And can it be reversed? Sincerely, Bloody Baby 69. Ciao.
All you need is a little juju. All you need is a little juju. All you need is a little juju. All you need is all you need. All you need is a little juju. All you need is a little juju. All you need is a little juju. All you need is all you need. A little juju is the play.
Hey babes, welcome to another episode of Juju Tube, where we get to the woo, to the woo, to the Jew, to the Jew, to the woo, to the woo, to the. So we get to the woo and the Juju. I'm your host, Juju Bay. Of course, by now your third eye should be, if that pineal gland is not calcified, your third eye should be tingling, telling you to like, comment, and share this video out, letting YouTube know that you love this content and helping me on the road to getting paid. Amen. No more free labor. Amen. YouTube, run me that check on that purse, YouTube. Thank you. I appreciate y'all for tuning into another episode. And we are back with another Dear Juju. These are my favorites. I love answering your listener letters. But before we get into this very juicy letter today, hopefully you all are signed up for my hoodoo class, my hoodoo course, rather, 2 hours every Wednesday in March. Lots of information, all the things African American hoodoo, all things conjure, all things spirituality, workings, history, guest lecturers like FAVE guest lecturers, old school hoodoos, okay? You can go to my website, jujubay.com, and click the link and you will see the course there, and go sign up, y'all, because it is limited capacity. Once it's done, it's done. Okay, let's get into Dear Juju. So this Dear Juju is an archive Dear Juju. This is a letter that I actually answered on the podcast, but I was like, this actually needs to come on Juju too, because it is such a common question. I need to blow this out everywhere that people are watching, so that anyone who is new to my channel, old to my channel, whatever, are aware of blood magic. Okay. Dear Juju, I'm 3 months into my relationship with my girlfriend and things are going lovely. Yay, we love that. But I just can't shake this strange anxiety that she's going to one day snap and become absolutely obsessed with me in an unhealthy way. I actually feel quite delusional writing this, but I was raised by a Caribbean woman who warned my brother against the danger of ingesting menstrual blood. She'd say things like, don't drink coffee from a single woman if you didn't see her pour it. In the first week of my new relationship, my girlfriend ate me out while I was on my period. It also happened to be a full moon. Ever since, I've been freaked out that I accidentally, bonded my girlfriend to me. You might have. I'm really very in love with her, and I hope that never changes, to be honest. But I can't shake this feeling that I've quite literally poisoned things by not telling her she can't eat me out on my period. Should I tell her? Yeah. Spoiler, yeah. It's awkward and embarrassing, so I'd rather not. But is it wrong to keep it a secret? Did I accidentally do a love spell on her the first week of our relationship? And can it be reversed? Sincerely, Bloody Baby 69. Ciao. Bloody Baby 69, thank you so much for your question. No judgment. We listen and we don't judge. We listen and we don't judge. So, first of all, I want to say, regardless of this being about blood or any ritual or this like kind of spirituality aspect, at the end of the day, you don't need to do anything you don't want to do. And if there are things that make you uncomfortable sexually, whether it's period stuff, butt stuff, whatever it is, you have a right and ownership over your body to say, babe, I'm not really into that. So that's just step one. Forget if it was bonded or bonded. Babe, I want you to feel comfortable enough to tell your partner, I am not interested in this. So a binding, according to the dictionary, is a ceremony or spell that involves binding. I hate when they use the word again, but I will say attaching oneself to a person or a thing. So you're going about this process of prayer or ritual or whatever so that I can bring myself close, so that I can attach myself. Like my hands are bound together right now. When one goes this way, the other goes this way. So I'm trying to attach myself. And this is a very common work that has been done across traditions, but it always brings up this conversation around consent, what kind of binding is okay, what's not okay. Secondly, now personally, myself personally, I am not a fan of blood magic. I'm not a fan of on the cycle. It's just a personal thing, but I think it's because of my spiritual work, because I'm a hoodoo, because I'm an Orisha devotee. I think it's just because of the religions and spiritual spaces that I take up. Things like that are a little bit, I'm not going to say taboo, and I'm also not going to say that there's hoodoos who don't get their coochie ate on their period. There are. I'm just from the lineage that, for me, I'm with your mama. You know, you don't want to go that route with the binding, because I think it can get tricky, it can get messy, it can get weird. Now, is it the end of the world if it happens? No. Have I ever been ate on with her? Yeah. Like, it's okay, but in my belief system, me, blood is such and one of the strongest binding agents of life. It is why in many African and Africana spiritual traditions that animal sacrifice is a part of the tradition, because the letting out of the blood is one of the biggest rituals, one of the strongest, most powerful works, one of the best offerings that we can give to another spirit, to an entity or whatever. So blood is like really important. It is a life force. It is our DNA. It is our connection. So people use bloods in various rituals to bind themselves to other people for protection. Sometimes our ancestors did that in the past for protection, but also to trap people. You know, that is a part of the lore, not just lore, but very real stories of people being trapped to their partner because of, you know, bloodletting, putting things in the spaghetti, putting things in the hair, putting things in the, you know, that's just, it's just a fact. It happened. It still does happen. It's very, we shouldn't be binding people without their consent. So that's that. If you have a belief, if your belief system to you says that, you know, you feel like there's something uncomfortable about this, or maybe I'm binding and I care about my partner, but I don't necessarily think we need to bind ourselves together with the power of the blood of the lamb, then you shouldn't do that. You know, whether you believe that it happens or not, some people say, well, it only happens if you're intentionally trying to bind with blood. Otherwise, it's okay if you don't use it. You know, regardless of what you think or what they say, what the different stories say, what lineages say, if you are uncomfortable and you feel like something is a little off by that, and you're not interested in binding yourself with all the love that you have for your partner, then it's important for you to communicate. However, I will say, and prayerfully this doesn't happen, but if something happens in the relationship where maybe you're done, you want to move on, things aren't working out how they were, and you notice that it is exceptionally difficult to remove yourself, or it is exceptionally difficult to move on, or y'all keep going back to each other, or you feel like you're going a little, or she's going a little by the breakup, not just the regular pain and how we like do our little crash outs, but like something like spiritually is trying to keep y'all together, even when y'all both know it needs to be done, then you probably should seek out the help of a healer, because those binds may potentially need to be broken. Now, you're Caribbean, so your mom is very familiar with this lore, as you mentioned. I don't know what y'all relationship is like, but I would ask her, okay, mommy, so I remember you saying to, you know, brother that, you know, you shouldn't consume blood because of the spaghetti, but like, what would happen if they did consume it? Or like, what would you do if someone did accidentally swallow it? I would be interesting what she would say to that, because I wonder if she has like the opposing ritual to help remove yourself from that bind. And because you are coming from this Caribbean lineage and this Caribbean stories, I wonder what people in the Caribbean did when, you know, that was potentially ingested and, you know, things went awry. I don't think you should freak out. I think you should relax. It's okay. It's so funny. I don't really believe in that while I'm on my cycle. That's also just a time for me to release, don't touch me. But my partner is very, I want you all the time. Like, we can run red lights, babe. This is not traffic. And I'm like, baby, no. But it's so funny. She always says, well, Tyra said, she always says, Tyra said you can eat, you can do it on your period. I'm like, babe, Tyra show was out when I was in like high school. And when Tyra said it, yeah, it was iconic because it was a taboo thing. But this is not Tyra Banks.
Next, does sex have to end?
I can't do it.
When you get a visit from your friend?
She wants it more when she's on her period. He thinks it's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
If you don't like it, don't do it. I don't care what it is. And this is a message to everybody, not just Bloody Baby 69, but everyone. If you are uncomfortable with anything in your relationship, it is so important, and don't see it as awkward. See it as a necessary way for you to grow closer to your partner, because you are letting them in on something that bothers you or does not make you feel good and comfortable. And if you are in a good relationship, your partner will be understanding to that, will be receptive to that, and then y'all can figure out other things that you all can do to be close, to be sensual, to enjoy each other's presence. In the case of bindings, you know, I think, hey, I will say this. I'm an old school hoodoo and I'm a new school hoodoo. I'm a new school hoodoo because, you know, we're in 2025 and there are ways and understandings that center consent, that center choice, that center bodily autonomy and all of that. So I think that aspect is important, and that's why I say I'm new school. I'm an old school hoodoo because I think that there's a time and a place for everything. And we can't always impose our individual beliefs around certain things on everybody, on every hoodoo practitioner. Because if we're honest, a lot of us descend from lineages where people, I'm not to say they were doing anything, but a lot of them were really powerful workers, were doing anything. They were binding people to them. And I'm not talking about binding yourself to your, you know, slave husband so that y'all didn't get sold to separate plantations. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who were binding themselves to their man, that the man that didn't want them. They were putting the things in the spaghetti and putting the things in the coffee and doing all of that so that they could keep this particular person who potentially wasn't even good for them. However, I understand how that happened, especially when women did it, because it is in very recent history that women are allowed to have their own bank accounts, you know, that were able to get their own coin, that actually had a say in their bodies, which is also under attack. So again, I'm an old school hoodoo when it's like, well, yes, consent, yes. And sometimes you had to do what you had to do. And sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Now, hoodoo, especially, this is about power and control. And we all have to figure out what our limitations are, what our boundaries are, what we will do and what we won't do. But some people don't. And some people may, because some of them don't, but some people may have valid reasons as to why they choose the works that they do. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. And remember, if you want to write in your letter to get my advice on any topic, love, spirituality, binding, your boss, your career, your work, email me at dearjuju@yahoo.com. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. And remember, all you need is a little juju. See you next time.
All you need is a little juju. All you need is a little juju. All you need is a little juju. All you need is, all you need. All you need is a little juju. All you need is a little juju. All you need is a little juju. All you need is, all you need.